In this video we will examine how to analyze the competition part of the 4 Cs. The first step is to establish at which level of analysis a market and industry can or should be defined. The most common levels of analysis are generic category, product class, and product type. The problem with using the generic category level is that it typically includes an array of non-competing products. For example, within the vehicle market we have a Toyota Prius, a BMW and a Dodge pickup truck, and they do not stand in direct competition to each other. The more generic the definition of a product class, the higher the aggregation level of products. For instance, all cars versus convertibles. Product types are subsets of a product class and contain items that are technically similar, although may vary in such aspects as appearance and price. In the case of cars, the product types could be defined as hybrid, diesel, and so on. A popular and established model to determine an industry's long-term attractiveness is Michael E. Porter's 5 competitive forces model. The 5 forces are present competitors, potential competitors, the bargaining power of suppliers, the bargaining power of buyers, and the threat of substitute products. This mix of forces explains why some industries are consistently more profitable than others. It also provides further insights into which resources are required and which strategies should be adopted to be successful. Rivalry occurs among firms that produce products that are close substitutes for each other. Rivalry is great under the following conditions. There is high investment intensity. There are many small firms in an industry or no dominant firms exist. There is little product differentiation. It's easy for customers to switch from one seller's products to those of others. A second force affecting industry attractiveness is the threat of new entrants. Entry is more difficult under the following conditions. When strong economies of scale and learning effects are present, if the industry has strong capital requirements at the outset, when strong product differentiation exists, if gaining distribution is rather difficult. The bargaining power of suppliers over firms is exercised largely through increased prices. Its impact can be significant especially when a limited number of suppliers service many different industries, when switching costs and prices of substitutes are high, when they can realistically threaten forward integration, when the supplier's product is a large part of the buyer's value added. An industry's customers constantly look for reduced prices, improved product quality, and added services. Buyers play individual suppliers against one another in their efforts to obtain what they look for. The extent to which buyers succeed in their bargaining efforts depends on the extent of buyer concentration, switching costs that reduce the buyer's bargaining power, the threat of backward integration, the product's importance to the performance of the buyer's product, and if buyers earn low profits and the product involved is an important part of the costs, then bargaining will be more aggressive. Substitutes are alternative product types, not brands, that perform essentially the same functions. Substitute products put a ceiling on the profitability of an industry by limiting the price that can be charged, especially when supply exceeds demand. Before investing in the development and introduction of an innovation, marketers should evaluate how rapidly the innovation is likely to be adopted by the target market. The adoption process involves the changes in attitude experienced by individuals from the time they first hear about the new product, service, or idea until they adopt it. Not everyone responds alike. Some adopt early, some late, and some never. The 5 stages in the adoption process are awareness, interest, evaluation, trial, and adoption. In the awareness stage, the person is only aware of the existence of the new product and is insufficiently motivated to seek information about it. In the interest stage, the individual becomes sufficiently interested in the new product but is not yet involved. The evaluation stage is sometimes referred to as the mental rehearsal stage. At this point, the individual is mentally applying the new product to his or her own needs and anticipating the results. In the trial stage, the individual actually uses the product, but, if possible, on a limited basis to minimize risk. Trial does not equal adoption. In the adoption stage, the individual not only continues to use the new product, but also adopts it instead of substitutes. Early adopters differ from later adopters. Using time of adoption as a basis for classifying individuals, 5 major groups can be distinguished: innovators, early adopters, early and late majority, and laggards. This graph shows the proportion of each group. Innovators are the first adopters of a product or idea and a very small group. They are followed by early adopters. The early and late majority of adopters make up more than 2/3 of the whole. They are often described as the mainstream. The laggards are the last adopters. They are a group large enough for a company to consider addressing them in one way or another. Never leave the laggards unattended.